Naam, asante sana. Unaendelea kutazama Kenya's Gold. Swala zima ni kufahamu sana namna utaingia katika ukulima huu wa kitunguu na kwako utafaidika vipi. Swali ambalo unaliuliza kabla tuende katika mapumziko ni kuhusiana na kwako Samuel, swala hili la nimetumia 100,000, sio? Sasa wakati nimekwenda kuvuna, je, ndapata faida hiyo? Na vile vile kuna mtu atauliza kwa kila ekari ni gunia ngapi au ni kilo ngapi mimi nitapata?
Okay, asante sana. What I would want to indicate is the fact that production is dictated to by a number of factors. Maybe to just go through them is one is the seed. There is a difference between production for the hybrid and open pollinated variety. But given that we are advancing in technology and that is what we are looking at and mitigating the climate change aspect, I would want to talk about the hybrid and one of the hybrids which I know. There is the Yakuti F1 from Stakayas, which yields 35 tons per acre. That is given that if you look at farmers ask whether that is practical. 1 acre you need to plant about 300,000 seedlings. And if each seedling gives you a bulb of 100 grams, that is 30,000 kilos. So our variety, this particular variety, Yakuti F1, gives around 130 grams per bulb. So automatically it goes without saying that it is practical, it can be attained.
Right.
And if a farmer even gets half of that, which will be like 15 tons, that is still a workable figure. So it is an aspect dictated to by one, the seed, then the management.
Right.
Management is basically about feeding.
Right.
Because if you don't feed the crop properly, you will get small bulbs, other onions will not form bulbs. So basically it is management, which is all about feeding, because nutrition in onion is very, very important. And it does not mean that because you are feeding, you are overfeeding. It is basically following the feeding regime or nutritional regime. So that is my take on that aspect.
Now, you've spoken so much on the importance of going the hybrid way, especially now that we're dealing with climate change. How are we making sure that this information gets to the farmers who are still stuck in the traditional way of doing onion farming?
What I would say is that we have a lot of agronomists on the ground. For example, as Takayas, we have people in every village educating farmers on the same and giving technical support. What we encourage is for farmers not to assume, because a farmer has been doing farming for 40 years, not to assume that they know. That is why they should embrace the technologies given by the agronomists. The agronomists may be young, but they have what it takes. So information flow is very efficient and making sure that the Yakuti seed is within reach. The farmers don't have to come to Nairobi. We have courier services, we have shops down there so that they can embrace the hybrid way for the purposes of higher yield. And actually maybe one thing you will allow me to mention is that this hybrid has a longer shelf life. Shelf life is one of the factors which affects farmers' ultimate gain. If a farmer harvests and there is no market, you keep it for 1 month, it rots. That's a loss.
Right.
This particular variety, Yakuti, you can keep it for even 4 months. And this is the beauty of hybridization.
How much is like a seedling for the hybrid so that we compare with how much it is for the other variety when a farmer is going to get one?
The price of the seed or the price of the seedling? Let's talk about the seed.
Yes.
The comparison may be amazing because for a kilo of Yakuti, it is 28,000. That is for planting 1 acre. The same for the OPV will cost you 7,000. So you can see there is a disparity in terms of the seed cost. But the ultimate gain will outweigh the price difference.
Okay. Hapo umetaja vile vile kuhusiana na storage kwamba kuna wakati moja umehifadhi lakini bado kuna mwezi ambao utatamatika. Lakini tuzungumzie swala la kuhifadhi kitunguu. Mkulima wakati anahifadhi, yeye anahitajika kuzingatia nini ndio baadaye asipate hasara?
One is the harvesting, the mode of harvesting. How do you harvest? When do you harvest? Now, when we look at the hybrid like Yakuti, you find that it has a very thin neck. This one facilitates curing. That is the process of drying up, where you cut off the communication from the leaves, from the aerial part to the bulb, so that now this bulb closes, it doesn't get anything from the leaves, so that it closes completely. That's what we call curing. So the farmer has to harvest when the onion is well cured. And when you do that, where you keep it in a well aerated place. But again, remember, if you keep the open pollinated variety, this is the traditional ones, and the hybrid in the same condition, the non-hybrid will actually rot very fast, they will sprout. But you find this hybrid variety like Yakuti, it will cure, it will keep, and it has several thin layers of cover. So after you keep it, you see the way onion peels. You find the top has peeled, but it still remains dark red in color. And that is an aspect of marketing. Maybe that is another question which may come in. So we are looking at marketability, when you can market it. Because if you can't, if you are forced to market even when the prices are low, then you are not in business. You can keep and time the market. If the market has a glut, you keep it for the 4 months, waiting for the market to stabilize.
Let's very quickly talk about modern day technology. For example, the modern greenhouses. We have seen a couple of farmers using greenhouses to grow their onions, whether it's the seedlings or actually doing the whole growth to maturity. Please talk to us about, is it the right way to go when it comes to onion farming with these greenhouses?
I would say greenhouse is a great invention, and it has assisted farmers. And I would point out the fact that greenhouses are suitable for different areas. We have some areas where greenhouses may actually not add so much value, especially for various crops or horticultural crops. For the purposes of onion production, it is appropriate to do a greenhouse for the nursery. That one makes economic sense. Because again, we have a lot of seed raisers who have come up, who are doing seed raising in their premises. But a farmer can also do seed raising in a small greenhouse for the purposes of doing the onion in the open field. You realize that I've mentioned that an acre requires about 300,000 seedlings.
Okay. Tunashukuru sana. Kusema ukweli umeeleza kwa undani kabisa, muda ndo huo nao hauturuhusu kabisa, lakini tunakuvulia koja kwa kuwa unaelewa sana kuhusiana na tasnia ya vitunguu. Kwako mtazamaji, vile vile umesikiliza vizuri sana, umeelewa kutoka kwake Samuel Gasheru ambaye ni mtaalamu mkubwa sana kuhusiana na masuala ya vitunguu. Kwako sasa ni kwenda kujitosa katika ulingo huo ili nawe tulishe taifa. Kutoka kwangu Emmanuel Terer nasema salia na Mwenyezi Mungu, kumbuka tutimiza ndoto.
All right then, now we've come to the end of the show. Definitely not a bad way to start this week. Thank you so very much, Mr. Samuel, for coming and sharing a lot of gold insights in our gold conversation. Now I'm sure back at home as you make your dinner tonight, onions are sitting largely as part of your ingredients. So here at Kenya's Gold, we're making sure you not only know how to eat them, but also you know how to grow them and how they come to be. Thank you so very much for watching, and of course our audience for being with us from start to finish. We'll see you again tomorrow as we continue with our everyday mission of learning, appreciating our farmers, inducting and onboarding new farmers. My name is Violetta Ngina. Goodbye.